and it will have surpassed Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 as the highest-grossing movie in Warner Brothers history.
Oh, wow. Let alone we get to hear Christopher Walken say such words as spice.
Original screenplay goes to Past Lives.
Yeah.
You heard it here. What do you think of Ahsoka?
I haven't watched it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not had a chance yet.
Cool.
Do you like it?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It's okay so far. Now, granted, this is from the perspective of someone who hasn't watched all of Rebels and all of Clone Wars. I've seen episodes of them, and I'm familiar with like who the characters are enough to where when I saw some, I'm like, oh, that's that.
Glop Shido. I know him.
Yeah, but like, so I knew it enough.
Yeah.
But I was really excited for the Ahsoka show, and she's in it. You know, so it was just like,
listen, I think that Rosario Dawson's a national treasure.
Yes.
So I will watch whatever she's in.
Yeah, and it's not terrible. There's some atrocious dialogue though.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
I'm
gonna watch
setting up like the rest of the series, the arcs, and
a
everything?
decent job. Yeah. I'm still a little bit curious as to where it's going, but I'm glad it's 8 episodes.
Is this the last live action thing that's gonna go into the movie?
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, yeah. And what's the other one? Acolyte.
That won't be into the movie.
No,
because that's like that's a prequel to the prequel.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah.
So Skeleton Crew, Mando, Boba, Ahsoka are the.
I think so.
Grouping.
From what I understand, yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're definitely setting up like Thrawn is going to be the bad guy for the movie, right? Is that kind of where you think they're heading?
It depends on what happens to him in the show.
That's also fair.
Yeah, but yes, after the show, I have a fan theory about Ahsoka that I think I'm right about, and if so, it'd be very cool. Anyway, we have a show to do. Whoops, there's cameras here. But yes, hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Roundtable. We have 2 main topic stories for you guys today. We have a B-roll story, and then of course the box office, my favorite part.
Yes.
So with that, Nicholas, what's the first story you got for us?
Our first story comes to us from Variety. It is delay after delay after delay in Hollywood this week as Dune Part 2 has changed release dates and has been officially pushed to 2024.
Boo.
Boo indeed. My desert, my Iraqis, my delay.
Fuck you. Yeah, so Dune 2, and a couple other Warner Brothers films have been delayed, but the most significant delay was Dune Part 2. Mm-hmm. This was gearing up to have an award season run this year, and it has moved to March of 2024. And obviously, the big factor in this is SAG-AFTRA is still on strike, and they want these stars to promote this movie, because they don't want another situation like the first Dune where it was the HBO Max release during the pandemic, and it did okay for that, but it's like, we want this to be a big thing because it is a big thing. And without the actors there to promote it, which you're seeing, a lot of these projects kind of falter because the actors can't promote it. Yeah. If only the studios, pay them what they deserve or whatever. But yeah, Dune Part 2 officially delayed to March, which upsets me. But not only does this conversation start, Dune being delayed, I also want to take this conversation to what it could mean for award season. Because a big main player has been eliminated from the Oscars this year in Dune Part 2. Dune Part 1 won 6 Academy Awards, was nominated for like 10 or 11, I think, maybe even more.
10 nominations. I just Googled that. Well done.
And so Dune Part 2 was obviously also going to get around the same.
Yes.
Assuming that the movie is good. Watch, it comes out in March and it's just fucking terrible, and this conversation's pointless, but I doubt it. And so basically, what I think this is good news for. This is good news for Oppenheimer. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the nominations were going to be for the technical categories. Oppenheimer was going to be the same thing. Both of these films were going to get Best Picture nominations.
Meanwhile, Killers of the Flower Moon is going to Scorsese kill them both from behind.
Hey, that could happen. It's going to be a good Oscars this year. But I think there's a number of things that benefit from Dune moving. One of them being Oppenheimer, to kind of take those technical awards and rack up their Oscar wins. Mm-hmm. For nominations, for sure. It also leaves Best Picture a wider open race for Oppenheimer to come in and possibly win. And another thing that I think really helps is smaller indie movies, like The Creator coming out in September. Yeah. Those technical categories are now wide open for The Creator to come in without Dune. Even movies like Blackberry. You're thinking, how does Dune Part 2 help Blackberry at the Oscars? Because that entire cast of Dune Part 2 can't get nominated, which leaves room for Glenn Howerton. I want it to happen so bad. Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't know how they're going to run him. I don't know if he's going to run lead or supporting. He probably won't win either way. Because if he runs in lead, he's going up against Leonardo DiCaprio and Cillian Murphy.
And Ryan Gosling.
If he goes up in supporting, he's going up against Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Gosling. So it's tough either way. But now none of the Dune cast can get nominated.
Wouldn't it be wild if all 5 supporting were in Oppenheimer? Because there's a lot of supporting roles.
There is a lot.
And people have been nominated for less screen time.
I think the most that's happened is 2. I think several movies have gotten 2 in the same category. Yeah, that'd be crazy. But yeah, no, I think this is good news for Air. Mm-hmm. For Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, that script, Ben Affleck as a director. I think Dune leaving really helps.
Well, even
these
other
films
ones too that were, I would say, some even better movies, like Celine Song's Past Lives.
Yes,
I loved.
Yes,
and I think I could have seen that being overlooked, and I think that has a shot in.
I think that is a shoe-in. I'm gonna call it now. What's the date?
26th.
Original screenplay.
27th.
Original screenplay goes to Past Lives.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
But in an open category, you could see direction. You could see there's a lot of different...
It's opened up now for Past Lives. Absolutely, yeah.
Which I think is great to see.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Mm-hmm. And it also, like, Best Makeup can now go to Talk to Me. I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah.
Come on, that's Barbie. Makeup and hairstyling.
No, I'm not saying wins here.
Oh, you're just saying...
I'm saying nominations.
It's just getting on the board.
Yeah, for sure. But
I wonder what Damon runs, if he runs Air or if he runs...
I think he'll run Air. I think if he's smart, he'll run Air. Because 1, he has more screen time, and 2, there's so much in Oppenheimer.
Well, yeah. Well, I think he'd be supporting for Oppenheimer. I think he'd be lead for Air.
Probably, yeah.
He could do both.
Yeah. I think he's going to go Air.
Yeah.
Personally, Air. I think if Air gets anything, it'll maybe screenplay and Damon. I would love to see Jason Bateman get supporting, and I would love to see Viola Davis get supporting actress. I think that's actually very realistic.
Viola Davis is just, every time she does something,
she's never been bad.
It's a shoe-in for an Oscar nomination. So
never.
But it did come out very early in the year, but we're seeing not a lot of competition coming off in this one.
Listen, Killers of the Flower Moon's about to jump onto the scene, and it's going to be...
Flower Moon is going to sweep everything.
Dude.
If that movie's as good as people are saying,
and it's 3.5 hours.
Oh, hell yeah.
I am stoked. And it's in theaters. Oh, dude, it has to be written all over it. I'm so excited.
I am disappointed, though. I was looking forward to Dune.
Oh, me too.
I was not like a huge fan of the first one, but I did enjoy it, and it did get me hooked and interested in a second one. And the scale and the additional cast all look fantastic. It's never a bad idea to add Florence Pugh to your cast.
Yes.
Let alone we get to hear Christopher Walken say such words as spice. Or Atreides, or Iraqis.
That's really good.
Which I think is going to be fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. And I am bummed as well about the move. But I'm also curious about...
A March release for it?
A March release, yeah. Because obviously they want... Basically, the situation they're in is we got to move because we don't think the strike's going to be resolved. Not even by November. It's just like we don't know if we'll have enough time to promote it by November.
Yeah.
So I think they chose March because they think, 1, the strikes will be done before then, hopefully. And 2, it's not so far that the hype will completely die. Because if you Kraven the Hunter this thing and push it back almost a year, you've wasted so much money marketing.
Well, I know like with that March release date, what it did was it took the place of Godzilla Kong to do
and
Empire.
Then they pushed that another...
They just pushed it a month to April.
Yeah.
But things like Aquaman and Kraven are all just...
Look, Aquaman stays this year.
Aquaman stays.
Yeah.
James Gunn said, get it the fuck out of my sight.
Well, and there's no trailer yet.
No, it's 3 months away?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not... That movie's going to bomb bad.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
They're not confident
all of DC's been bombing, but like the thing with Aquaman is...
I don't know, Blue Beetle has made $80 million more than it should have.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Aquaman, the first one made $1 billion. It's the highest grossing DCEU movie as Aquaman 1.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of a shame that it's being kind of brought out to die, but I think marketing will ramp up for it. It sucks that they don't have Jason Momoa. They don't love that at all.
Oh, no, I mean, he's how you market that movie.
Yeah.
He's so charismatic.
Yeah. But I also think they also kept Color Purple and other things. Like, they want to have their Oscar shot, too.
Yeah.
And I think that they were like, all right, we need at least one movie last quarter, like a bigger movie to give us a chance. And I think Aquaman's that chance. Will it do well? If we're going based off the other DC trends, most likely not. But something's got to stay. And I think that they chose Aquaman.
Yes. Listen, if it bombs and they just made James Wan get it out and he kept fighting for like, it's not done yet, it's not going to be done. They're like, get it out. Hopefully they give him one for taking that hit, and then we get
Malignant 2. I was thinking the exact same thing. I would love, please make Malignant 2 James
I didn't
Wan,
do
please.
This. Can I have $30 million to go just fuck around? And they were like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, man,
Let's do that.
have some fun.
You deserved it after what we did for Aquaman 2.
Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the story with Dune Part 2. What do you guys think about the delay? How do you feel about it? Do you think it opens up some other Oscar chances for other movies? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next story. Nicholas, what do you got for us next?
Our next story is kind of a split between Variety and The Hollywood Reporter. We're kind of merging two stories together here.
Okay.
WGA leaders have met with key CEOs, and they have released details of the latest contract offer that the guild criticized as a full of limitations and loopholes. Tied into that, the AMPTP hires a new crisis PR firm as the strikes continue.
So, let's kind of break down the update in the strikes. So essentially, the AMPTP and the CEOs, like David Zaslav, Bob Iger, Ted Sarandos of Netflix, and the Donna Langley, who I believe is NBC Universal, they all were like, hey, we're going to talk to the WGA negotiators personally. And the WGA was like, okay, they mean business. Let's go, you know? And they had a meeting, and they proposed their counteroffer, the AMPTP counteroffer, which some of it is good. Some of it, And the WGA, when they gave this offer, said, okay, let's negotiate here. And then basically the AMPTP, the CEOs were like, whoa, this is a great offer. Why aren't you taking it? And they were like, well, we came to negotiate.
Yeah.
And we have some issues with some of this. And then the CEOs were so offended that this happened that they leaked their whole plan to Variety, which I have, their counteroffer, when they were the ones who wanted a fucking media blackout. So
the CEO said, our plan is so good, let's release it.
Yeah. And some of it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you why the WGA negotiators had a problem with it. So, the part that was good was the higher compensation. I believe the WGA wanted a 6% increase, then a 5%, then a 4%. And they offered a 5%, 4%, and 3.5%. So it's close. That's probably the best negotiation you're going to get from that. And then when it comes to residual increases for streaming, they said that they would give quarterly reports to specific WGA members so that when they have the new contract in 2026, they'll have a better understanding of what to ask for in terms of residuals. What? Like, that's what they offered.
So they want to release their finances and reveal that they are not making shit on these.
To a couple WGA members.
To a couple WGA members and be like, this is your fault because you're not writing good content.
Yeah.
If you write good content, you could be raised.
But basically what they were saying is you're not getting streaming residuals this time.
Yeah.
But you'll have a better understanding of what to ask for next time. No. That's so dumb. And then the big one also was AI. They did say a couple things about AI, saying that it will not be counted as literary material, and they did say you will not be paid rewrite fees. You'll be paid regular fees, but it's not the outright ban that the AMPTP wanted, and so that the WGA wanted. Excuse me. So here's where the WGA got a little, got a little like, we have some questions.
Yeah, let's dig down on this.
Yeah.
For a minute.
One, they hated the fucking streaming thing. They were like, no.
Fair.
Two.
The shitty deal.
Yeah. Two, they did offer higher residuals, but obviously not what they wanted. Two, they were like, the AI thing. In order for AI to work, it has to take pre-existing material to teach it and learn it and build that AI. That existing material is copyright protected by our scripts. We do not want WGA scripts being fed into an AI machine to help it learn. That's that's a big thing that we don't want to happen.
Yeah.
It's not just that an AI script. We don't want you to use WGA scripts to teach it how to write. We don't care. I mean, yeah, we want it to not be literary and we want to be paid original fees, but we don't want something to be a rehashing of someone else's work to then be paid to rewrite that work. Like, we don't want that, because that is copyright material.
Yeah.
That is literary material that it's using to learn. And we don't, basically they're like, will you commit to saying you will not feed it WGA scripts? And that they said no. They won't commit to that.
That's the only scripts they have.
Exactly. And then another big one was something that the AMPTP offered, something that the WGA was fighting for, was the elimination of the mini writers' room. So that they would be paid properly and not have to overwork a small number of writers. And also they wanted writers to be on set. Because their whole thing was like, if you eliminate the mini room, or if you keep the mini room, there's not going to be room for new talent to come and start writing, and we can't bring them on set. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So the AMPTP offered, and this sounds good on paper, they said, we're going to leave it up to the showrunner to determine the size of the room, and we'll also make sure that the showrunner may select 2 writers to stay on set the whole time. 2 writers, if you want to like have new people learn.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound great? And the WGA was smart, and they were like, it does sound great, but can you do us a favor? And they were like, sure. And they're like, can you define in the contract what a showrunner is? Because for those of you who don't deal with contracts a lot, every little thing has to be defined when it's first mentioned.
Yeah.
So, for example, if it was movie nights, and we said the YouTube channel, which will now be referred to now as Movie Nights, which that defines Movie Nights as the YouTube channel. So whenever Movie Nights is mentioned in the contract, it's talking about the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They didn't put that in their contract, their offer. And they said, would you be able to define showrunner and what that means to you guys? And they said no. Because WJ was like, because we think you're giving this to us, and then when we're on set, you're going to go, oh, well, we didn't tell you that your co-showrunner is our executive producer here.
Yeah.
And they said that the writers can't come. They're trying to protect themselves from that. And so they're like, can you just define what it says, what you mean by showrunner? And they said no. And then they were offended when they didn't take the deal. And WGA was like, and then when they immediately leaked their proposal to try to get on the good side of the public.
Yeah.
And WGA released their own statement and said, listen, we went in good faith thinking that a negotiation was going to start, and they just tried to back us into a corner and make us take this deal. That's not what the point of this is. And the two have not talked since last week.
Yeah.
Because of it. The negotiations are dead. We're back to square zero.
Yeah.
So any hope of the strike ending soon doesn't look good.
No.
But for the writers, I would not be shocked if the AMPTP just tries to go to the actors now and be like, fuck it, you guys want to make a deal?
Yeah.
But
they're not going to go back to work until the writers get the strike.
Probably not.
But
no.
I suppose you could tie a bow on that and be like, okay, well, you don't go back to work, but at
from
least
their perspective,
at least we're good.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then now going into the crisis, the PR firm, the AMPTP has now discovered, we look like the bad guys right now.
Yeah.
So they've literally hired a PR crisis firm to try to change their public perception of being the bad guys of the strike. Here's an idea. Maybe don't be the bad guys of the strike if you want to not look like the bad guys of the strike.
We've been labeled the bad guys of the strike. Well, because you are.
It's a nightmare. Like just fucking make a deal. Like, please. Like, and everyone wants to go back to work.
Yeah.
Despite popular belief, no one wants to do this. But they also can't be forced to take a shitty deal that's going to affect not only themselves but the future writers.
Yeah. No.
Like they're trying to protect the next generation here, and it's like, please make the deal. And look, the AMPTP did have some good stuff in their offer, like that wage increase. It was a good offer, but that's not the only thing we're fighting about. You know, that they're fighting about, I should say. Help them and listen to them and negotiate. Don't try to be shitty and like strong arm them. They're gonna back off, which is what happened. It's aggravating.
I like that the CEOs got involved. Like, CEOs are never just figureheads.
Yeah. And CEOs are like, we'll handle this.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure you will, CEO.
Yeah. Yeah. Have fun with that one, buddy.
Good luck, Chief.
Yeah, but what did you guys think about the updates with the WGA strike? Do you think it has any chance of getting resolved soon? Do you think that maybe we'll see another meeting next week? Let us know in the comments as we move on to the B-roll section of our show. Nick, what do you got for us in the B-roll?
Yes, our B-roll story today, we just have one. It's from Deadline. Amid a focus on content curation of Disney-owned IP, Disney Plus is not proceeding with the Spiderwick Chronicles, its live-action series adaptation of the popular children's fantasy books. I believe they're going to start shopping it around to other production companies.
Yeah, the show's done.
Yeah.
So they're just going to shop it around, kind of taking the Zaslav approach at Warner Brothers of let's see if we can have someone pay us for the show.
So interesting enough, Paramount owns it. So Paramount was the one that made the deal with Disney for Disney Plus to make it, and then Disney Plus said no. So now Paramount's like, who wants it? If only Paramount had a streaming service.
Yeah, too bad it's not doing so hot. but yeah, and then Disney also did the same thing with a show that's in the middle of production, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea prequel.
Nautilus,
yeah.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with that because cost-cutting measures. Iger was not messing around.
No, and there's a couple other shows like there's a Hawaiian version of Doogie Howser.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the name of it, and it's like a Hawaiian last name. I don't want to mispronounce it.
Yeah.
But I know that was about to start on a second season or a third season, and then that got canceled.
Damn.
So they are looking to cut some of these different shows there.
Yeah, and I saw that in the article. It also mentioned that they're going to keep their IPs. So like Percy Jackson stays. And the only outside deal that stays is the article did say that the upcoming season of Doctor Who will still be on Disney Plus, and I was like, thank God.
Good.
I didn't want to see that go.
It was Doogie Kamealoha, MD.
Oh.
Yes.
Gotcha. Very cool.
I mean, the cost cutting, it happens.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they were going with shows that were already filmed and ready to go.
Yeah.
But to each their own.
I hope it finds a home.
Disney is scrambling at this point, as with most streaming services, among the dealing, the writer strike, low view counts. They're all going to start doing password sharing because we couldn't hold the fucking line with Netflix. But that's fine.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And with that down, let's go ahead and move on to the box office.
The box office.
Second row show. Nicholas, will you pull up our predictions?
I have them. Dalton, you had Gran Turismo, Blue Beetle, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had Gran Turismo, Barbie, Blue Beetle, Oppenheimer, Strays. We were both wrong, I'm guessing.
You missed it by that much.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Hit me with it.
Ninja Turtles was 5.
Dang.
So close. And I just had to flip Barbie and Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, I would have had it.
When I checked earlier today, Blue Beetle was ahead, so...
No, it's down now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Or, sorry, no. Gran Turismo and Barbie were very close. It was what it
Listen,
was.
on the Monday, so these are the Sunday estimates. On Monday, and we always put the final numbers in the description of the show. On Monday, we could find out that Barbie outperformed Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Because Gran Turismo has had a bunch of preview screenings leading up to it because the actors can't promote it.
Yeah.
And Gran Turismo, according to Sunday numbers, squeaked by number 1 with $17.3 million. Barbie came in second with $17.1 million. Blue Beetle came in third with $12.7 million. Oppenheimer coming in fourth with $9 million. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem coming in fifth with $6.1 million. So, yeah. Let's dive into these numbers a little bit more, shall we?
Let's do it.
Worldwide box office so far in Gran Turismo is $53 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not listed here. I've looked into it. Apparently, the budget was only like $65 million
For Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So if that's the case, these numbers are not bad. Like
Not
they
at all.
if it's with that A Cinema score, if it holds up these and has small drops, it could end up making a lot of money back. Let me make sure on that budget. Yeah, according to 4, it was $60 million. Although I would not be shocked to later learn that it was more like 100. But Forbes said 60.
We shall see.
Oh, Variety is saying 60 as well. So, I'm going with that.
I'm fine with that until they say it isn't.
Yep. Let's dive into Barbie, which right now the numbers say it's at $1.34 billion. By the time the show airs, it will have surpassed Mario as the number 1 movie of the year, and it will have surpassed Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 as the highest-grossing movie in Warner Brothers history.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Come
already
on,
is
Barbie,
that.
Let's go, Barbie.
It already is that domestic. It will pass it worldwide and become officially the highest-grossing movie for them. Let's look at Blue Beetle, which only dropped 49%, which is not bad for a movie with a B+ cinema score.
And a DC movie.
Yes. If it keeps doing this, maybe it gets to Flash numbers, but it's still not good. It's still not going to be a moneymaker.
What's it at now worldwide?
81.
81 million more than it would if it got dumped on Max.
That is true. This is true.
Maybe they'll get their production budget back.
Maybe 120. Maybe.
If it stays consistent.
Yeah.
Coming weeks we don't have much coming out, so it might hold the line a bit.
It might. Oppenheimer
Yes.
has now become Christopher Nolan's third highest grossing film, surpassed Inception. $777 million worldwide. It is now the fourth all-time worldwide R-rated movie, just behind, let me pull it up here.
I assume Deadpool and Hangover.
Deadpool 2, and Joker.
Okay.
It will surpass Deadpool and Deadpool 2 to become the second highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. It's not going to get to the Joker's number, I don't think. And that's worldwide. Domestic, I think it's seventh, because like Passion of the Christ is number 1, Deadpool 2, American Sniper 3, Joker 4, It 5, Deadpool 2 6, Oppenheimer 7.
From what I saw, Oppenheimer might just squeak just under $1 billion.
Yeah,
what I was seeing.
It's what it's looking like.
People are looking like it's hovering between 9 to 950.
Yeah. But yeah, crazy performance for that movie. I mean, we knew it would do well, but
not to that level.
Yeah. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now has $135 million worldwide. It's made just under 2 times its budget. I think eventually it will squeak over to profitability. Good for that movie, because it was a fun movie.
Do they factor in like home release and stuff like that? Like,
not anymore.
No.
They used to. Like it used to be, if your movie didn't do well, like this goes back when like VHS and DVDs first started taking off. You could have a new life on home video, and it would like save your movie. You can make hundreds of $1 million on home video. Now it's like 5. Like it's like nothing now, which is a shame. Physical media for life. Let's dive into the Meg 2.
Yes.
Which came in 6th this weekend. $352 million at the box office, made 2.7 times that budget back, and 74 of that is domestic. We love it.
So Meg 3 is happening.
It might. Strays, unfortunately, has just been not performing well. It came in 7th. Has a total worldwide of $21 million, and on that $46 million budget, it's not going to see that back.
Did you end up getting out to see it this
Not
weekend?
yet, but I'm going to try this week.
Okay.
I'm going to try to see that and Retribution. I got to see it. Speaking of Retribution, it came in 8th in its opening weekend. Made $3.3 million. And it doesn't have worldwide, so that's all it's made so far. I don't know what the budget is, but I don't want to look it up because I think it'll make me sad.
That's fair.
The Hill came in 9th, which was a sports movie, a small indie sports movie, made $2.5 million. And 10th was Haunted Mansion, actually. It's now at $91 million worldwide, but with that price that it cost, it's not looking good. I do want to dive into Talk to Me. Again, I'm sorry, I like the movie. It has made $52 million worldwide on a budget of $4.5 million, and that puts it at the 5th highest grossing A24 film.
Holy crap.
And it's both domestic and international, or worldwide, I should say, because that chart is really different if you look at the top domestic, top worldwide, but it's 5th at both for A24. So I do not blame them for wanting to franchise that movie. It makes perfect sense. And I think we're going to see those grow if the movies continue to stay good.
Definitely.
So that's the box office for this week, but I do want to get our predictions down.
Yes. I think you went first last week.
Yes.
So I'm going first.
It is your turn to go first.
Was it Equalizer 3?
Yep.
And Bottoms are the big ones,
I'm excited for both of those.
I might do Bottoms on Thursday.
Dude, I don't blame you.
I've not seen Equalizer 1 or 2, and I don't think I care to.
You didn't watch 2 with me?
Nope. I've never seen an Equalizer movie.
The first one's quite good.
I'm sure they are. I just don't think I can realistically catch up before Thursday, and I don't care to see the third one, if that's the case.
Fine.
Blind. You might be on your own this week. I don't know, unless there's a secret Equalizer fan in the group. I'm gonna go. I guess we'll go Equalizer. I don't know how those movies do, but
I can tell you. You know what? No. Don't just throw your first pick out there. I'll tell you how they did. Equalizer 1 opened to $34 million.
Okay.
And it made $192 worldwide. Equalizer 2 opened to 36 and made $190. So it hovers at 30, but it's also been a while since the second movie.
I'm going to go Equalizer 3, Barbie, Gran Turismo, Oppenheimer, Bottoms.
Bold. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I like where your head's at. Here's what I'm going to do.
Go on.
Equalizer. Gran Turismo, Barbie, Blue Beetle, Oppenheimer.
I forgot about Blue Beetle, but I'm not changing. It's fine by me.
I think that Bottoms is going to open to like 3 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that 3 is enough to get it quite in the top 5 yet.
I don't know. Oh, well, I guess Equalizer is there. I was going to say Teenage made 6.
Yeah.
That's where my head was at.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. Why not? Go Bottoms. That's a sound clip.
That is a sound clip. Thank you for that.
Jeez.
With that down, what are your predictions for next week's box office? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're right, we'll shout you out on the show. And with that, guys, I think that'll be it for the show today. Before we go, I do want to remind everybody that there is an audio-only version of the show as well on your favorite podcasting apps of choice. You can check us out there. Nicholas, you got anything to add?
Yeah, as always, the final Monday box office numbers, as well as links to all our social media and the articles that we used for reference, are in the description below.
Yes.
And I'll also put a link down there if you haven't checked it out already. Our Gran Turismo review is out on the channel, so please be sure to check that out as well.
And it is spoilers, so be careful.
Be warned.
And with that down, I've been Dalton Burdett.
I've been Nick Iricchio.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.